Brought to you by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to LatiNation. Now, before the break, you saw a clip of the documentary, The Art of Rap, and with us here today is one of the producers. He's a jack of all trades. He's been in the hip-hop game since the beginning, even though he looks young as hell, and he's Latino, by the way. Hen Gee Garcia, man. Welcome to the show, dude.
I'm chilling. How you doing? One of the associate producers of the rap.
There you go. Yeah. Oh, you're so technical. You're so technical. But the point of The Art of Rap is definitely, to show kids, especially the younger generation, where hip-hop came from. So tell us about the documentary, what went into it, and what are some of the messages that the documentary wants to put out?
Okay, 2 years, blood, sweat, and tears. Some finances that the executive producer put up, Paul Too Good and Simon from Europe. They got together with Ice-T and his manager, George Hinojosa, and got the idea of doing The Art of Rap. This movie consists of your rapper's favorite rapper, so... that's the art of rap.
Now, what is hip-hop about? I mean, that's one of the messages of the movie. After all, we have two generations now that have grown up under hip-hop.
Well, hip-hop's a culture, it's something from nothing, like the name of the film, something from nothing, the art of rap. We had nothing, so we was banging on garbage cans and drums and just saying rhyming words, and now it became a corporation, so it's different now, but back in the days, it's a culture, People looked at us on the way how we dress and the way we wear our shoes, the hats, so we created a culture, so now it's a corporate situation. But it's the art of rap is the culture that we've created.
I've heard you say before in interviews that hip-hop is not about the money, it is about the culture, but don't you find it kind of ironic that a lot of the mainstream hip-hop artists seem to have that message a little bit twisted? I know from somebody who I would love to know more about the underground hip-hop scene, what I see in the mainstream is kind of the opposite ideal. So what do you think about that?
Well, the mainstream I see is following other rappers because there's just two types. There's like a KRS One that raps about the streets and the psycho realm, that rap around where they came up from. And there's other rappers that talk about the flamboyant part of it. So it's different strokes from different folks. And there's some rappers that talk about the sex, sex and partying in that form. So it depends on how you came up. We came up with like a Public Enemy, a Rakim, a Cypress Hill. Everyone had their culture. That's what they were talking about. Now they're talking about things that they wish they had because, if they had all that, Uncle Sam would be at their door every morning, but, it's just different. It's the lifestyle right now.
What about the Latino, when people think of hip-hop, they think of it as a black art form. Tell us about, let's revise that a little bit. Have Latinos been involved with hip-hop from the beginning, and how so?
Of course, back in the days in the Bronx, all the breakdancers, generally 90% was Puerto Ricans,
exactly.
Latinos.
Rocksteady crew.
Exactly, what's up with that. And here on the West Coast, when my brother and I, Evil Lee, Ice-T's DJ, came from Brooklyn, New York, from the projects, we moved out here, and we was doing a lot of stuff in Latino communities like Cudahy Bell, Southgate. That's where Cypress Hill met us when they were looking at us doing our thing. Sin Dog always tells me that they was checking us out. Then out in the streets with us on the other side of town in Pico Rivera was Kid Frost. So we met Ice-T in the hood in South Central, and then we hooked up with Kid Frost in the Latino community where we brought Ice-T, came towards us, and we hooked up and we created the Ice-T brand by doing parties with Ice. And when we met Frost, Frost got Ice-T and us our first record deal actually back in the day.
Tell me your reaction and the hip-hop community's reaction when Mentirosa came out with Menace, when Kid Frost came out with La Raza, and you were hearing Spanish lyrics in the middle of a hip-hop song on the radio. Like, what was it? It was like, man, we finally got in there?
Well, it was cool. It was culture. People from the streets related to that because they seen the videos. The lows and everything was done on the east side of town, over there in Whittier, what have you. That's basically the origin of lowriding. A lot of people don't see because it wasn't commercial, but, Latinos kind of put that on the map. And when Mello came out, it was cool. He had the pretty girls. He was rapping bilingually, so you can relate to all of that.
I know part of the inspiration for that song was Mellow Man. He was growing up in Southgate, and he's walking around his neighborhood, and he's trying to get, figure out a way how he's going to fuse, his Latino culture into his music, and he hears some girl speaking in Spanglish, and he was like, that's it. That's our everyday experience of the language. It was normal and yet so unique and innovative at the same time.
I thought she didn't know about hip-hop.
She actually looks at things from a very broad socio-political spectrum, which is why we love having her as the co-host of the show. All right, we're going to take a break on LatiNation. When we come back, more with Hen Gee Garcia and Crystal B from Power 106.